So the VGAs were this past weekend, and I have to say I'm very happy to see that an indie game, technically an indie game I guess you would say, won Best Game of the Year. So let's get straight to it. This is Indie Spotlight. Welcome to Indie Spotlight, the show where we take indie video game news, trailers, and new releases, and we get them out there for you guys to check out. I'm your host, Kyle Locke, and as always this week we are starting with trailers, and the first trailer that we have for you this week is Maximus Action Carnage. So Maximus Action Carnage looks like a pretty cool game, but for some reason, I can't put my finger on it. It looks very similar to something else. Very, very familiar. Oh, that's right. It looks just like Commando for the NES. This is supposed to be kind of like a free tribute version of Commando. It's supposed to be kind of a newer version of it, and it looks very cool. It looks like it's taking the same idea and upping the ante on it, so it looks like you can get some really cool upgrades and things like that. So it looks cool, it looks awesome, looks like an arcade game. I'm excited to try it out. It's free, so there's no reason not to. The next trailer that we have for you this week is Doorways. Whoa! Ow. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Ow. So there was some footage released recently that shows a prototype that was going to be a Streets of Rage modern day version. Ow. Let's show the footage real quick. So as you can see, in my opinion, it looks like complete crap. I love Streets of Rage. It was one of my favorite series growing up, and this looks like a complete abomination of it. I like that there were some things that kind of tied it back to the original, like, you know, beating up that telephone to get a pipe or whatever, but it just looked terrible. I'm glad this was scrapped and didn't get completed. It just... If you're going to make a Streets of Rage game, make it 2.5D. That'll be cool. So this past weekend, VGA's Walking Dead by Telltale Games won Best Game of the Year. And rightfully so. I just actually got a chance to play through it all because it was on sale for the Steam Black Friday. And I have to say I played all 5 episodes, and it's definitely one of the best stories and best games I have played in recent years. So it definitely deserved getting Best Game of the Year. If you haven't played it yet, it's a great way to jump onto The Walking Dead. I have not watched the show, nor have I read the comics. And all everybody kept saying is that this was a good way to get started. So if you want to get started on the series, check the game out. It's amazing. But because of that, we also have the news of The Walking Dead is getting a retail release in terms of a physical version. Right now it's only for download, but they're looking to release a box set that has the entire series that you can buy in stores. So definitely be on the lookout for that if you want a physical copy. So a trailer was released by Capcom recently for a new Mega Man game. And for Mega Man's 25th anniversary, they're deciding to give out a free game for PC. It is Mega Man X Street Fighter, and it sounds exactly like it does. It's going to be Mega Man levels, but all the bosses are going to be Street Fighter characters, and then you get their abilities as your power-ups. So it looks like it's going to be really cool. It seems really awesome. I'm excited to see it. I love Mega Man. I love the old-style Mega Mans. I've downloaded Mega Man 9 and 10, got my ass kicked in 9, and beat 10 on easy. It's such a hard game, but it's so much fun that you don't really care. You keep playing anyway. Not so much indie news, but sort of. No, not really, but I still want to talk about this anyway just because I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. VGA's released a trailer by a studio called Red Lynx Studios. It was entitled The Phantom Pain. And during the entire trailer, people kind of realized something about it that was very strange. It looked like a new IP at first. And then the more we watched it, the more we realized that this looks very oddly like the Fox engine that's being used for the next Metal Gear Solid game. And that the character being shown looks like Solid Snake, and that there are characters in there that look like other characters from the series, like Volgin from Metal Gear Solid 3, or Raiden, and it looks like there's a young Psycho Mantis. And people who know me know that Metal Gear Solid 1 is my favorite of the series. So seeing Psycho Mantis in it really got me excited. So what does this mean? Looks like Moby Dick Studios is a fake studio. Their entire URL was created 6 days before the event. And so the Phantom Pain looks like it's going to be Metal Gear Solid 5. And it looks awesome. It looks really cool. I'm super excited. I really want to see what they do with Psycho Mantis, if that's really him. It looks like it's a kid version of him, so it just looks awesome. If you haven't seen a trailer, go check it out. It looks really cool. And I have to say, this is probably, since Metal Gear Solid 4, this is probably the first time I've actually been excited about a Metal Gear game. Like, genuinely excited. So definitely go check it out. Final bit of news that we have for you this week is that just recently released news that Valve is going to be making a console. This was rumored for a while, and they weren't sure if this was going to be happening, but Gabe Newell said that they are looking to release a console next year that will be a quote-unquote stabilized PC. So basically, instead of, you know, getting a PC and, like, you know, making it yourself and the flexibility of a PC, they're going to make it kind of a closed system like any of the other consoles. But they're saying that it's going to be running Steam, it's going to be a console game system that you can buy. So I want to know your thoughts on this. I'm not so sure. I love Steam, or I love Valve. I think that they do great stuff, and I trust that they are going to make a cool console. But I'm curious what you think as to whether or not this will turn out to be a big competitor against Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, or if this is going to be kind of like a niche market or whatever it may be. So put your comments below with what you think this is going to be like. What do you think about Valve making a console? What do you think about Valve in general, Steam, all the big stuff? So, alright, new releases this week. We have Primordia, we have PID, we have Genix, and we have the Cat Lady. As always, thanks for watching Indie Spotlight. If you have any news, trailers, anything you want to let us know about in terms of indie news, you can hit me up at Twitter at twitter.com/Dazerin, Ryan at twitter.com/MasterBlood, Tim at twitter.com/ShadowKingpin, or VVGTV at twitter.com/VVGTV. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Locke, and I will see you next week when hopefully I don't have too many bruises from that fall that I just took. That hurt. See you next week.